Hello and welcome to Something for the Weekend with me, Kathie Griffiths.
Me, Fiona Scott.
Me, Ellis Butcher.
And me, Stephen Day.
Hello, everybody. The weekend is here and we've got loads coming up in this episode. I caught up in Oban with endurance cyclist Harry Lidgley, who's on a 7,000-kilometre mission to wheel his way around all the UK mainland lifeboat stations, raising funds for the RNLI. Ellis had a bit of a celebrity crush this week. He met Robson Green, who was in town making a new TV show. So you're going to hear all about that. And we've got some wonderful music from Patsy Reid, who will be leading the team of expert tutors at Mull Fiddle Week this summer. And of course, never one to be lost for words, Ellis will have the Scottish word of the week. So anyone else been on a bike recently? That's my question for you.
Yes, I'm on a bike at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week.
Oh, how good are you?
I'm
Fee?
excellent.
No, not me. I tried that. I tried to go back to cycling a few years ago, bought myself a bike, and my backside was so sore after one day that it never got on again. That's the bike, not my backside.
Do you know what? I bartered for a bike recently because I had this big idea of, getting on a bike, basically. So I bartered for one, got it. First day, up and down the track because I was a bit too scared to go on the roads. And to be honest, I've forgotten about how to get on and off. I haven't been on it since. So there you go. It's propping up, looking rather glorious in the garden. Ellis, bike?
On your bike. That's what I would say.
Well, let's listen to my.
No, hang on. After that remark about Ellis has got a celebrity crush, I'd just like to make it clear I was actually just going out and doing a reporter's job, which is what we're here for. So let's just be under no illusions there. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, I did catch up, as I said, with a lovely chap, Harry Lidgley, and we had a little chat about his mission. He's actually wanting to raise £5,000 for the RNLI, and when he was in Oban this week, he was halfway there. So let's listen to our chat. Welcome to Oban, Harry.
Thank you very much. Yeah, never been before, and the weather is surprisingly nice, so it's great to come in today.
The sun is smiling on you.
Yeah, I've done really well out of Scottish weather so far, which is a good surprise.
So tell us, you set off on May the 1st, May Day, from Poole. Is that where you're from?
No, I'm not from Poole. I'm about an hour's drive north in Berkshire, and I've been living in Cambridge for the last 6 months or so. And it's very flat, so not the best training for all these hills up in Scotland, but
So Poole was the first lifeboat station.
Mm-hmm.
How many are there altogether?
I think there are 238 across the whole British Isles. I'm just doing the ones on the mainland, so 168.
And how many days have you got to do it in?
I'm trying to do it in about 40 days, yeah. So.
And we're now sort of towards the end of May.
This is day 18, yeah, so getting on halfway.
And how's it going so far?
It's going pretty well. I had a bit of a battering from the hills in Cornwall and Devon in the first week. And then some flatter stretches and now back into the hills in Scotland. But it's been stunning cycling, and the weather's been on the whole fairly good, so it's going pretty well so far. I'll
keep my fingers and toes crossed for you. So after Oban, where are you going? Which direction are you heading?
So next station's up at Mallaig, and then I'm going to catch the ferry across onto Skye to go to Portree, and then cycle back across the bridge, and then head up into the wild.
Oh my word!
Lochimber, and then round to Thurso.
And I can't help but notice you're travelling very light indeed. You haven't got much with you.
It's a pretty light setup, but even so, the bike feels quite heavy, and there have been a lot of hills where I've had to lug it up. So yeah.
Now you are getting a bit of help from Mum back at base camp. Tell us what Mum has been organising for you, Harry.
Mum's doing a great job. She's been contacting some local papers like yourself, and getting in touch with the lifeboat stations so they know I'm coming. And it's great to be able to meet some people when I call in at the stations, have a chat, see the boats and that kind of thing. And then she's also sending out food parcels, which is pretty important because I need as many calories as I can get, really. So she's sending ahead food parcels with freeze-dried ration packs and flapjacks and that kind of thing.
Hurrah for Mum.
Yeah, exactly. She's doing a great job. So.
And how's the fundraising going? Because you're doing this for the RNLI, aren't you?
That's
so
right.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's ticking along quite well. I'm over halfway to the target of £5,000. So that's coming along well. I'm hoping that it will start to pick up more and more as more people become aware of the challenge, but yeah, it's going well.
So where do people need to go to find your donation page?
Yeah, it's on gblifeboatcycle.com. That's got a tracker for my progress and then also links to the Just Giving page.
Fantastic. Well, I'm not going to hold you up much longer. Back on your bike with you, Harry.
Yeah, more miles to make. So
Absolutely. Good journey.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, bless him. Bless him. So I think he should probably be on Sky by now, but what a great guy. And actually, you know what he's been doing in training to get himself ready for this? He's actually been a Deliveroo cyclist round Cambridge. So there we go. Good on you, Harry.
I thought my backside was sore after a day. God knows what his is going to feel like.
I was thinking, well known for the hills, Cambridge, for that training.
No, that's what he said. It's very, very flat. Anyway, he looked well, so he was doing a good job. So, Ellis, spill the beans. Are you and Robson best pals now then?
Me and Robson.
Green.
The bestest of chums.
Oh, are you going to be, your magnet fishing that you were going to take up that we spoke about last year? Are you going to have a little special slot on his fishing show then?
No.
Oh, okay. Are you going to play us your little conversation with him then?
I am. It was good to get out to see him. I'm not going to say any more, but run VT, Stevie.
So I'm here with Robson Green, famous to many. One of my exes used to absolutely adore you. So whenever you came on TV in Soldier, I made sure I turned it off.
One of your exes used to adore me. Can I tell you, your ex had taste.
She
That's
does have
all I'm
taste.
going to say, mate.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm going to say.
I think she used to think that I had a bit of a look at Jerome Flynn, but that was many years ago.
Mate, you need to take a look in the mirror. Go to Specsavers.
It's the shades. Tell me about the programme and why you're here and where you've been.
Well, it's basically in these very, very strange times. It's, hey, in the place we live, beautiful, isn't it extraordinary? And it's kind of a celebration of all the areas we visit. So we're doing the northwest of Scotland, we're going to the northeast of England, my home, Pembrokeshire, the west, and we're going down to Cornwall. And you take each section, and it's not only about the place, it's about what surrounds that place and why we call it home. And in the end, no matter what you're looking at or what you're surrounded by or what type of house you have or car you have or whatever kind of pub you have, home is a feeling. It's a feeling, and you meet these extraordinary larger than life people who tell us in very accessible terms why Oban is beautiful, why the Isle of Mull is beautiful. It's not. It doesn't take an Oxford Don to work out why Oban is beautiful. It's extraordinary. However, it rains a lot.
Just a little bit.
One does get wet, doesn't one?
We know about that in the northeast.
Oh, mate, it has not stopped. But it's there's no such thing as bad weather. Only beautiful types of different weather.
So there's a big fishing theme to this.
There is, yeah, but in a way, it's more to do with.
A bit broader.
It's a bit broader, but yeah, fishing is the umbrella. We meet people who are trying to keep the marine creatures under the water sustainable and in good numbers, and there is a lot of incredible people we're meeting who are passionate and care about the skate or the pollock or the other creatures that reside in the ocean and looking after them. So it's kind of about protection of the wildlife and sustainability, and for everyone's interest that we should not only make sure the creatures underneath the ocean survive but thrive as well.
Had you ever been to Mull before?
I have. I started my career in the northwest.
Did you really?
Yeah, I used to do theatre in Ullapool, and I used to go in the Hebrides and Lewis and Harris, and I used to.
So was this late 80s or?
85, yeah.
Yeah.
85 started my career. Started at the Glasgow at the Tron, and then worked my way up the west coast, Killeen Castle, did it around that area. Then we went Ullapool, Wick, and down the east, Kirkcaldy and those places. Love it.
So you're very familiar with this part of the world.
Yeah, love it.
In terms of where you've been recently over the last couple of days?
In Inverary, Isle of Mull, beautiful Oban, and we've been in all the sounds as well, diving for certain creatures, be it scallops or oysters or pollock or skate, and just having a look what's, not only above the water but below it as well.
Just one final point. So in terms of today and being here, the purpose is it to meet some of those that have been in the industry?
Yeah, we've been not only in the fishing industry, but why do they do what they do? Why do they do what they do? Why do they keep on doing what they do out at sea, risking their lives so we can go from port to plate, from sea to tea kind of thing? But also just the celebration of the area. What is it about these places? And if they had their way, you've got to ask the locals, the people who do it, not intellects who kind of come from university, but talk to people who've lived the university of life and how they would, sustain stocks and if they had their way.
So there's a bit of an environmental issue.
Yeah, very
well,
green. Yeah, very, very green. But we're not bashing people over the head with it. It's implicit in the people we talk to and implicitly in the area we are.
Yes.
And luckily, they've found a way where the horizon looks really healthy around here. They've found a way to take it sustainable. Never kill a fish you're not going to eat, and only take what you need.
You're a lifelong fisherman.
Aye.
You tend to do a bit of fly, do you, and sea fishing, a combination.
Yeah.
You'll have been around the world.
Aye.
Fishing.
I have.
What are your impressions of Oban in terms of how it compares to all of those places that you've seen?
Every country has its own kind of surprise. And the one thing that shocked me about Oban, we pulled a sea creature and electronically tagged it, just off the sound of Oban here, and it was 179-pound skate.
Wow.
And I didn't realise that skate was so massive and so extraordinary. And you forget they're an apex predator. They're a shark, and you get bigger, but they only live here. It's the only place in the world you can see them, and very few people knew that and know that. Sorry, and I just think. I think that's a really great thing to celebrate. And the numbers were in terrible decline, but because of the work of the conservation area, people like Jane Dodd that we met, the work they're doing, the catch numbers are increasing, and that's just testament to the work they're doing. And again, they're out there passionate about these creatures surviving and thriving, which I think is the message of the show.
The top line of the show, if it was in the Radio Times, how would you best describe it? Who would it appeal to?
Great question. It's celebrating where you live and what's on your doorstep, not only above the water but below it as well.
What a fab interview.
What a fab question.
Yeah.
Fab question.
Robson and Butcher, as Stevie was indicating to us earlier. When's the show?
Well, it's Butcher and Green.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking Robson's his surname.
No, Butcher and Green, magnet men, I think.
Let's just say we're in discussions. Can't reveal anything just yet, but you never know.
I'm just waiting for the single.
I might just be a bit too good looking for him, and he'd feel a little bit kind of like in my shadow. But Robson, it was great to meet you. In all seriousness, he's a good guy.
So we've got a huge archive now of Something for the Weekend podcasts for you to listen to. So you can find them all at www.obantimes.co.uk/podcasts. Although some of the information might be a little bit about events past, they still contain lots of inserts and music that you might want to catch up on. So there you go. If you have a spare few minutes.
There's some crackers in there. Go and have a listen.
Crackers. Sums us up, doesn't it? Crackers. Cracking on. We've got some music for you now from Patsy Reid. And as I said, she's a professional Scottish fiddler, and she's going to be at the Mull Fiddle Week this August. And this is a tune from her album called The Brightest Path. And the track is, now it's spelled THUGAINN, and I think it's Hooken. There we go. She says, shall we listen?
Yeah.
gorgeous was that? Were you all twirling and spinning around the room?
Not quite.
Not quite. That was just
But did you want to be?
That was just you, Kathie. We were watching. We were watching.
What a sound! That was
wonderful.
amazing.
Gorgeous.
Really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's
lovely.
Patsy Reid and her album The Brightest Path. So go and check that out.
I'm going to download it now.
Good. So you can contact us. You can cocktail us if you like. You can send us your cocktail recipes.
There's a whole new feature. Kathie's cocktail corner.
There we go. That sounds great. So if you've got any stories or you've got anything that you think we might like to feature in our podcast, let us know. If you're a musician out there with some original music, get in touch with us. You can contact us by emailing somethingfortheweekend@obantimes.co.uk or message us through facebook.com/obantimes or Instagram us as well. There you go. Ellis, have you got a Scottish word of the week for us?
I have, but I'm going to reverse it this week, and I'm going to ask Fiona first, and then Stevie, what their favourite words are, Scots words are for poor weather.
For poor
So Fiona,
Poor weather.
yeah.
Dreich.
Oh, you stole that.
That
was mine.
I've been writing rugby reports for as long as I can remember, and the weather's always dreich.
That's just such a good word to describe weather.
It is.
Absolutely.
Do you have one, Stevie?
Well, dreich is probably my go-to one. It's a grand day out there. That's just what I say. That's not particularly Scottish.
Don't you say bra? It's a bra day.
Do you know, it's not a word I use a lot. Unless I
like
meet an East Coaster. And then suddenly you fall into that and they'll say, oh, it's a broad day. And you say, oh, it's a broad day, isn't it?
It's a brabrecht, moonlight nicht the night.
Yeah.
Translation.
Yeah. So we fall into stereotypes here, shall we?
What about Kathie? Do you have you're out in all weathers. Do you have a favourite Scottish word for weather?
Oh, a favourite Scottish word. No, because I would just say if it looked a bit miserable, a bit glum, but maybe that's a Yorkshire thing, is it? A bit glum.
Bit glum.
But it does describe the weather very well up here sometimes.
But do you know what? I was just chatting to a friend before we sort of did this, and I was just saying, whatever the elements, it's just so great to be out there, because when those elements batter you, you just know you're alive. So there you go. And what do we say? There's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothes. So just wrap up if it's raining and get out there.
Do you know?
Now, Robson said something in his interview that I liked, and I forgot. I'll have to go back and listen, Ellis, because he did say something about the weather. There's no such thing as bad weather.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I've often heard that quote attributed to a lot of different people. Actually, that there's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing or bad clothing or the wrong clothing. I've heard it. Yeah, accredited to quite a lot of different people. Really, the word I was going to just introduce very quickly is called. If I said it was puking a bit on the hills.
Puking. Puking's vomiting.
That's what I do on a Sunday morning after I've had a heavy night.
It's spelled P-E-U-C-H. It means to rain or snow slightly in fits and starts. Puke.
I wonder if that's where the vomiting word came from then.
Maybe. Unless I'm mispronouncing it, it might be pooch, perhaps.
Or puff.
I don't know.
It could be connected.
Uh-huh.
To rain or snow lightly in fits and starts. To puke.
It's puking doon.
I can't wait for the info to come in for this episode to let me put it up online as to what everyone's doing. But I think we should avoid using that maybe as a verb.
Oh, dearie me. So enough of puking. That's all we have time for this week. Don't forget you can read our Oban Times stories online at www.obantimes.co.uk, and you can subscribe to our page, Turning Digital Edition, there as well. So for this week, it's goodbye from me, Kathie Griffiths.
Bye from me, Fiona Scott.
Bye from me, Ellis Butcher.
And goodbye from me, Stephen Day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.